Today in this video, we're just gonna re-emphasize building the foundation with this Colt here. Once again, I'm back up in that calving pen. It's only been a day later, so this second lesson is coming a consecutive day right after lesson number 1. And real quick, just to make a point about that, I really like doing this method of fear-free horse training by Neil Davies, that book that I had mentioned in the first lesson. Is that I feel like you can work with these horses and put them up for any period of time and pick right back up where you left off. It just so happens that this horse has got a different home, and I'm going to send him back to his owner at a certain amount of time, and so I'm going to try and get on him as many consecutive days as I can, and really get him going. Again, he's super gentle, easy to handle, halter broke already, as you can tell. This horse is not real reactive. You know, if I do something, he's not really spooking or moving away or doing anything. So it takes a little bit more motion on my part. Notice getting him to go in his circles and move out. I do have to kind of kiss at him or slap him on the butt a little bit more, just because he's kind of, you know, he's okay with it. He's okay with me. He's okay with the pen. You know, he's just kind of, he's not too worried about anything. Like I said, he's not highly reactive, but we're still laying that foundation of getting him to move out and to bend in that circle and to follow his nose and get his feet moving forward. So today, the adversity that we have here today in the barn, as you can tell with all the back sweat on my shirt, is it is hot and muggy in that sucker. It's been kind of raining, and it got a little warm here today, and so it is kind of hot and muggy in there and kind of miserable. As you can tell, the flies are really biting him. We'll get that taken care of with some fly spray later on. I just kind of had come home today and thought, man, I'm gonna get on that horse. So it's not ideal situations, but at the same time, this is just real life. I mean, when you go out and get on your horse or going riding, or having to chase cattle or do whatever aspect of this equine industry that you have, you're not going to get just the ideal perfect day and perfect setting. So I don't always think that it's all bad working these colts in less than ideal settings and stuff. So just keep that in mind, I guess. Even though it's kind of gruesome for me, I get pretty sweaty the way it is, but so today that's kind of the backdrop for today. But anyway, he is doing good. He remembers a lot from the day before. I worked with this horse just a little bit before I hit the record button on my phone. Yeah, I'd stopped him a couple times and his butt hit the panel and knocked my phone off. So this is about the third take of this deal. So I don't work him too much here on the ground. As you can tell, I start doing some rope exercises and flinging that thing over his back and hooking it up underneath his belly like a cinch. One thing I like to do this for is it just prepares them for the saddle, prepares them for you throwing something over their back, something swinging off on that off side on the eye that they don't have looking that direction. Again, like I said, this horse isn't really reactive. I'm not getting a huge response out of him. He's just kind of hanging out, fighting flies, and letting me do whatever I want with him. Some horses we do have here on the ranch, they are a little bit more watchy, a little bit more reactive. So this rope exercise is kind of a big deal to them. But as you can tell, this sorrel gelding, he's pretty okay with it, and pretty okay with everything up under his belly. Pretty okay with me petting him pretty much wherever, jumping around, getting on him, on his back and stuff. And if anything, I tried to work a little bit more today, getting him to bend that head around and touch me, just so that he's not so easily moved around. You know, I kind of want to soften his neck up, soften his face, soften his rib cage, just so that he can always make a better circle once I get on him and get to riding him. So again, going to the other side, flipping that rope over his back, kind of hooking it up under his belly. I will kind of put a little bit of pressure on this deal, like I am cinching that thing up. And there's, again, 100 different ways you can skin a cat. So you know, there's a lot of guys do a lot of different things. In fact, in that book I had mentioned by Neil Davies, at Fear-Free Horse Training, I even think he might even throw like a saddle with the cinch on him first and things like that. But I just think, as gentle as this horse is and the way he's kind of acting in here, we're going to be able to get him saddled up and be getting on him here pretty quick. But as far as this second lesson, again, I just want to continue laying that groundwork, that foundation, getting him to move his feet around in that circle, working on that one ring stop. And I'm gonna ask just a little bit more from him today. I'm gonna ask him to go in a few more circles around me before I let him stop. I can tell he's kind of wanting, you know, he's kind of used to just going about a circle or half a circle, and then he's kind of wanting to stop and face me and fight a few flies. But I'm just gonna encourage him to go around me a few more times, and so that he knows that I'm the one who gets to decide when it's time to stop. And then I'm gonna work a little bit more on getting him to face me just a little bit sharper, you know, just to kind of keep that hind quarter away from me if he gets spooked or whatnot. And it doesn't really show with this gelding a whole lot, but other horses, you know, if they do react to something, and when I say react, I mean like spook or move, or like your action causes a reaction from those horses. So when horses kind of do that, I initially want them to face me. Like I said, that's their stop. That's their one ring stop, is bringing that head around, and then what's going to follow that is they're going to move their hind quarters away from me, just because that's about the most dangerous part, is something kind of spooks and jumps away from you. You know, you don't want them to kick back with the hind legs and things like that. So watching the video here a little bit, I'm just getting a little bit more braver with this horse, kind of getting up on his back, laying on his back, inching it just a little by little, because I'm in no hurry to get up on this horse. I mean, he'd gladly let me do it. I just want it to be an easy transition from feet to back. One thing you will notice is that when I go to this, his right side, he kind of shoulders into me a little bit, like I don't know if he's just a little insecure about me being over there, or if he's just trying to face the other direction. I noticed that he really liked to face the other side of the barn, kind of opposite of where my phone's sitting. So you know, you'll notice me kind of move him around or try to get him facing towards the phone, just because again, I want him to know that I'm in control, and I'm not here to hurt him. I'm actually just trying to get him to pay attention to me a little bit, and not looking out the door or listening to horses whinny outside or watching what them bum calves are doing over there. I just want him to kind of pay attention to me and what we're doing. And like I said, I mean, everything's not going to be perfect. We're just kind of working towards that perfection, and this horse is doing a pretty darn good job, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm just trying to tell you, if I had to pick something about him, that would be kind of it. And again, like I said, I kind of started with when I get on that off side, he kind of wants to shoulder into me a little bit. But when I get on this side, on the left side, which a normal person would be getting on, he just stands there. He kind of just stands there and lets me take it. Now, I don't sit up there all day. I mean, this was kind of the first time of me really swinging a leg over his back. I just want him to stand there. I'm just going to pet him, and I'm just going to crawl off. And again, the flies are just being absolutely terrible in this barn. So he's actually, like, as I rewatch this, he's being a champ. He's taking this good. So I don't want to slide off of him when he moves there. I don't want to teach him that he can move and then get me to get down. I want to teach him that if that's uncomfortable or he's not quite sure about it, I want him to stand still, reach that head around, and touch my leg. I don't want him to move and get me to shake off of him. So as you notice here, I get on him and he actually reaches around the opposite side, and I don't know if he's was really that irritated, but he did kind of nip at my pant leg on that offside. Not a big deal. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just aiming for perfection. But so I'm going to get up here again, and I'm going to hold his head and make sure it comes the right direction. He's wanting to bite again on that other side, and now I get him to reach back to the right direction and give me his signal, and then I get off, pet him, and let him relax, because you know, he picked that up pretty quick. It's only been a couple days, and honestly, you know, these sessions or lessons are only about, you know, 15-20 minutes long, so it's you know, I'm not spending a ton of time with him, but we are getting a lot accomplished in a short amount of time. And one thing about that is I don't really have like a goal in mind for each and every day, that I want to get this certain thing done or that certain thing done, because I don't want to limit not only myself, but I don't want to limit the horse to what he can learn, or also maybe push him past what he's willing to learn for that day. And so, like I said, it's kind of hot, kind of miserable. The flies are being the pits here today, so I didn't push him too far. Kind of got him working in a circle like I wanted him to, and then I got up here, crawled up on his back, and just kind of preparing him for what's going to be coming next, and that's going to be me asking him to move in a circle. I don't want him to move in that circle right now with me on him, because as time goes on, I'll be getting on him and I'll be asking him to move in that circle. I don't want him to just make that decision himself, and I don't want him to move out of insecurity or because he's feeling agitated of some sort. I want him to continue to follow my lead, and this horse did a really good job of that here today.